With you and Patrick and the quarterbacks, how we know that the deep ball is a priority this year, and I guess what do you hear from him in that regard?
I think it's for sure the mindset. It started not just right now, but it started in OTAs, and for him, it's when you start looking at just whether it's a progression. I'll use for example, if there's something where there's a post over the top, or if there's something as simple as a guy in the flat with an intermediate route. It's the mindset of being able to know you might not throw the post, but you're gonna start there. And it's always been that way, but I think the repetitive nature of where we're at, it's important, and he's had that. I mean, since OTAs, we talk internally, we have some reminders for him, and it's good for him and those guys. They're embracing it, and I think it's, now we gotta just go out there and play within the play.
Any good subtle reminders?
There's a few acronyms we have that are good, and I think they get to the point, but I'll keep that internal.
Matt, Josh Simmons said yesterday that Ohio State really prepared him for this. Have you noticed something different in him compared to other rookies?
I'd say the biggest thing with Josh is to that point is when you're playing in front of that many people at that big of a game every week, and his O-line coach that he had, Coach Fry, did a heck of a job with him. He's really prepped him well and coming into this role, and so I think now it's on Josh to be able to take that and make mistakes, but then not make the same mistake twice. There's a mentality to that, and he's been really good with that. Preseason has been great for him. You also kind of have to have that mindset internally of who you are, of a belief in yourself, that if you do mess up, you don't, you're ready for the next time that happens to dominate it. And I think that's what he's had, just a really great mindset with those challenges.
He spoke yesterday and was asked a question about just starting his first pro game. It seems pretty even keeled. Is that how he is, or is it just talking to us?
No, he's even keeled. There's nothing to that. He's been a guy that really he's been impressive for being a rookie and being thrown into this from the very first play, then to stay there and continue to just work hard and fight through his mistakes. That's the biggest thing that I've seen, is being able to be persistent, resilient, stay true to what he does, believe in it, and then he's got good coaching, Coach Heck and Coach Matei.
Man, just taking a step back with a guy like Josh or a guy like Jalen in the draft process, how much do you scout those guys? How much do you collaborate with the front office? Just how does that all work?
It's a good deal with Veach and the scouting department, the personnel. I think they do a really good job of making sure that using our time the right way, because what happens is we get into the off season and we're so locked in as coaches on trying to scheme about. And when you go late into the season like we have, there's a balance to your work. So what they've done, I think, has been really great, is they go ahead and give us a cloud of guys that they really want to put an emphasis on, and those guys were in that cloud. And so when we watch them as coaches, you get to kind of put your own opinion on those players, and then they can value or devalue what you say or what you think. And that's, they're doing this a lot longer than we are, coming off a season and watching guys. We're giving more of a 30,000-foot view.
Couple more. We'll start with Vahe or Sandra.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you about the environment there. Obviously, you guys went to Germany a couple years ago. There's a certain energy to these international games. You've got a couple guys like Josh, like Kingsley playing left guard. How do you prepare them for the fact that this is a primetime game, a different energy in the stadium, and adding to maybe the pressure that they might already feel a little bit?
Just prepping them as much as you can on the front end, and then you can't really simulate it. It's every time you go to play a game out of the country, we always talk about there's like this constant buzz that goes on in the stadium where it's really not super loud, but it's not quiet.
Yeah.
So I think until you're there and you understand that, so we're going to obviously do what we need to do with snap counts and whether it's cadence or verbal, etc. But for those guys, just understand, now, and more than anything for these guys, when you're out there as any type of rookie, it's no longer preseason. This is the real deal. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, and then the atmosphere that goes with it is a part of it.
We'll go Vahe and then Nate.
Matt, just as Patrick starts this season, you all are obviously, but what do you think of as the single thing or two that has changed most in him since you first knew him when he came in? What is the greatest difference in who he is today?
Probably his consistent drive to be great. And when I say that, it sounds pretty easy to say, but when you do the things that he has done early in his career, and he comes back the next year and wants to do more, and work harder and be a greater leader, He truly leads by example. He's not a guy that is one that, I mean, he leads in every way possible. On the field, I think what's happened is we've really done a good job, or he's done a good job at being able to step back where he's at now in his career and say, you know what, individually for him, let's get back to the basics, let's get back to fundamentals, and let's get back to progressions. And that's where we've been challenged as a staff to make sure that we hold him accountable, and he wants that. And so, like, it's a all-encompassing deal, but the leadership, the drive to be great every year and be better is just, it's not normal, and I think he does a great job with that.
Last one, Nate.
I'm not sure if anybody asked you this earlier, but Pacheco had a full off season. He obviously looks to have his burst that he had obviously a couple years ago. Just what makes you most eager about seeing him in this new context on Friday?
Well, we've always said, Nate, that he's our energy, he's our energy guy. Whatever he does, he brings it every single play. Last year we lost a little bit of that when he got hurt, and then he came back, and I don't know if he was, with his weight and everything, with where exactly he was, but he came into this year in OTAs and then into training camp with a really good weight, playing fast. You see it on tape. I mean, you see him finishing every single play. There's this focus that he has right now. He's locked in. I think he's very, very motivated. He felt what we felt last year, and so he's a leader now. I mean, he's heading into, this is no longer his first or second year. He's become a leader, and we need him.
Thanks, Coach.